Hello everybody. Let's do today complex numbers. Complex numbers are we will learn today adding, subtracting, dividing, multiplying complex numbers, and also perform operations with square roots of negative numbers. So how do we deal with negative square roots? Okay, let's try complex numbers and imaginary numbers. So here we go. The imaginary unit is I, like I is imaginary unit. I can do that here. Imaginary, it's A. Imaginary unit is I. And this I actually means anything -1 inside the square root, and where I square means -1. Okay, that's how it goes. So when you see I square, that means -1, and any number the I is equal square root of -1. Okay, if I'm adding or subtracting, so the complex numbers, the set of all in the form the set of all complex numbers is in the form of a plus bi. That's how it's supposed to look like. That's the standard form. That's the standard form of complex. Okay, so let's try the examples for multiplying, dividing, adding, subtracting, division, everything. So let's do the first example. I like to do the lines, not these ones, the big ones. Okay, so let's try, go back and try this. Now, the first example that I have, for example, example A, which means I have 5 minus 2i. Okay, 5 minus 2i plus parentheses 3 plus 3i. And this is not something really hard. It's gonna go with the same thing like we do binomials, like we add, subtract binomials. That's exactly how it's gonna go. So if I have I'm gonna remove the parentheses first. So I have 5 minus 2i. This add means multiplying, so add 3 plus 3, and when we have addition it doesn't change anything. So this is what I got. Now 5 and 3, both of them has positive signs, so 5 and 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I have to write it in a standard form like this, 8, and then I have -2i plus 3i, which means I'm subtracting and I'm keeping the sign of positive, which is bigger than 3, and then I will give me just an I, like for example I mean 1i. Okay, I don't write 1 with it, so that's the answer. It's just exactly the same way like we did the other ones. Okay, let's do B. I have 2 plus 6i parentheses minus 12 minus I parentheses and parentheses. Now if you have a minus sign between them, be careful because it's going to multiply. We did multiply this, but you know positive times positive is going to give me positive anyway, so it doesn't change up there. So let's do that. Remove the parentheses. I have 2 plus 6i distribute, that will give me -12 distribute, gonna give me positive I. There you go. Now like terms, 6i and 1i are like terms, 2 and 12. So 2 is subtract and -12, so it's gonna give me -10 plus 6 and 1 is gonna give me 7i. And remember, standard form is right there. Okay, that's the answer for that one. It's not that hard. Now let's do multiplication. So multiplication examples, let's do different color, or maybe let's do that color. Now let's do the examples here. Can I erase that? Okay, example here, another one. I want to make it bigger. Okay, here's the example. And I have A for this 7i parentheses 2 minus 9i. Okay, I'm multiplying, and remember distributive property, all that stuff. So I'm actually multiplying. This is positive. I'm multiplying 7i with the 2 and 7i with 9i. But before I multiply these, remember, we multiply signs first. Positive times positive is going to give me positive. 7i times 2 is 14i. Positive times negative is going to give me negative. 7 times 9 is going to give me 63i. And these two are like terms, right? They are like terms right there. So if they're like terms, I'm sorry, 63i square. You know, I multiplied i's, two of them squared. So, and we know that I square means -1. So I have to write that too. Replace the I square with -1. So this stays minus 63, and this one replaced by -1. So now let's solve this. 14i positive 63, and they're not like terms, so I'm going to keep them because they don't have the same variables. And make sure write in a standard form like 63 plus 14i. There you go. That's my final answer. Okay, let's try another one for this example. It's supposed to be green. Okay, next one is 5 plus 4i, and then I have 6 minus 7i. Now let's distribute. Again, this is a binomial distribution. Remember, 5 is going to multiply with both of them, then 4i is going to multiply with both of them. So I'm going to do 5 first with 6. And again, you make sure multiply their signs. Positive times positive is going to give me positive. 5 times 6, 30. 5 multiplying with 7i. Make sure signs goes first. Positive times negative is going to give me negative. 5 times 7 is going to give me 35i. Next, let's pay attention here, and I'm going to use a different color. 4i is multiplying with 6. So 4 is multiplying with 6. Positive times positive is going to go positive. 4 times 6, 24, and they have an I there, so it's going to stay. Then I'm going to go 4 times 7i. But signs goes first. Positive times negative is going to give me negative. 4 times 7 is 28i square. Remember, I square changed to -1, by the way. Don't forget that. Now, do you see this? These two are like terms right there. These two. So before I do, or maybe we can just plug in that I do one step at a time, guys. -28, and you have -1 here. This is going to turn positive 28, and I still have 24i, and I still have that -35. I'm going backward, and this is 30. Okay, so let's try and solve this. 30 and 28, you add them together. When I add 30 and 28, I'm going to get 58. -35, positive 24i, -35i, you're going to keep the sign of the bigger number, and you subtract. When you subtract, you get 11i. And that's my answer for that. And it's in the standard form anyway. Okay. Let's try division now. Multiplication we did, addition, subtraction. Let's do let's do a division. Example, I have 5 plus 4i, and I'm dividing by 4 minus I. Now make sure the complex number division you are using a conjugate. Okay, what is conjugate? You multiply, this is conjugate. You multiply the bottom one and you change the sign to this sign. The middle sign always changes. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom up here, top and bottom. I'm going to multiply top and bottom with 4 plus I and 4 plus I. You see, I didn't do anything, just change the middle operation like I did this one. Minus sign change to positive, and this is multiplying top and bottom. Now I'm going to multiply straight across. Okay, because this is just a simple multiplication right there. So let's try this. I'm going to do 5 times 4, and again signs, positive times positive is going to give me positive. 5 times 4 is 20. Now 5 is multiplying with I, so it's going to give me positive times positive and 5i. Okay, now I'm going to erase that and let's multiply 4i. Now I'm going to multiply the 4i, and I'm going to go 4i times 4. Again, signs goes first. Positive times positive is positive. 4i times 4 is going to give me 16i. Then I'm going to go 4 and I right there. Positive times positive is positive, and it's going to give me 4i squared. Okay, divide. Now let's do the divide. Let's do the same thing up here, this one. So I'm going to multiply 4 in 4. 4 times 4 is 16. And I'm going to multiply 4 in I. And again, positive times positive is positive, and 4i. Then multiply negative I and 4. So positive times, this is negative times positive. This is positive. It's going to give me negative. And 4i again. Then I'm going to multiply these i's. Negative times positive is going to give me negative, and I square. Okay, this is what I got so far. Let's try solve this. Maybe green. Combine like terms. 20 plus 5i plus 16i plus 4i. You know I square means negative 1. I'm going to do that. This I square means also negative 1. Okay, so 5i and 16i, when you add them together, it's going to give me 21i. So I'm going to do that already, 21i. Then you have a negative number up here, so it's going to give me negative 4. 4 times negative 1, like for this portion, 4 times negative 1 is going to give me negative 4. Down there, you know, these two cancel out. I'm left with 16, and minus stays, and this I square means negative 1. So negative and negative is going to turn positive 1. So this will turn 17. Okay, so let's try that. 20 subtract 4 is going to give me 16 plus 21i over 16 plus 1 is 17. Okay, this is the division that we finished. If you want to write it down, division in a standard form, I can write there, standard form. Then you're going to write it like this, 16 over 17 plus 21i over 17. That's a standard form. Okay, let's deal with the negative square roots. Let's try negative square roots. So Okay, if I have, for example, a square root, a number, and it's negative inside, so you can solve this by making I in the same number with the square root. So that negative is going to go away with this, because we know that excuse me, in the beginning I showed you I is equal -1 square root. So I'm gonna take out this negative by changing this to I, and that would be that. That's how we're gonna do with the rest of the questions. So let's do the questions. Example A, I have, it's going to be square root -27, and I have plus -48. So I'm adding these square roots, and let's do how it goes. Let's get rid of this negative though inside the square root. That's how I solve it. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of it and make I outside, and I still have 27 in there. I'm gonna make I here, and I'm gonna still have this 48. Now let's do the square roots of this. I'm gonna break this down. It's gonna be 9 times 3 square root, and I stays, plus this is gonna be 48. So 48 is going to be what is it, 48, what are the factors of 48? So I can do 48 divided by 12, I guess. Okay, 48 divided by 12, it's gonna give me 4. So let's do 12 times 4. 12 times 4. Now we do know 9 is a perfect square, so this is gonna go 3, and I stays, and this 3 stays. This is perfect. This is done. That one I stays. We know 4 is a perfect square, so 2 goes outside and my 12 stays inside. You see that? Now I can also break down this 12 one more time, and it's gonna give me 4 times 3. You see that? And I have 2i up here, and I'm gonna still keep my 3i square root 3. Okay, so when I break this down, I know 4 is a perfect square again, so that 2 is gonna go down, like 2 times 2 times I, and I still have that 3 inside. And I'm keeping this because I can't do anything with the left side. This is 2 times 2 is 4i square root 3, and I have 3i square root 3. Guys, if you want to break it down this like a really quick, like 16 times 3, which is also 48, then that would be completely fine. I just go step by step, and whatever comes in my head, I'll just do it. So this is what I got so far. You know, these are, this is plus, this is not equal. Now these two are kind of, when you have the same square roots right there, and you also have this I and I the same, so I'm gonna add them. So 4 plus 3 is gonna give me 7. I is gonna stay I, and the square root 3 is gonna stay this. So that's my answer for that question. Let's do one more example here, and I think we are done. I have -2 minus -3, and the whole thing is squared. Okay, let's solve this first really good. I know the square means I have 2 of these, so I'm gonna write it down, -2 minus, and I have to get rid of this negative, which is turning to I, and we have a 3. And I have another one. You have -2 minus I square root 3. There. All I have to do is do my distributive property. I have to actually multiply this 2 with that 2. Again, negative times negative is going to give me positive. 2 times 2 is 4. Then I'm going to multiply the same 2 with this. Negative times negative is positive, and 2 times I square root 3 is going to go 2i square root 3. Okay, let's go for this. We multiply this with that. Negative times negative is going to give me positive, and this stays the same. 2i square root 3. There you go. This 3, again, I3 goes here, negative times negative is positive, and I have I square. And when two square roots multiply, they disappear. Like, for example, like this, square root 3 times square root 3. So when you multiply them, and this is the same thing like that, right? So 2 and 2, they cancel out, and I'm left with 3. So this means I'm left with 3. So that would be 3i squared. And we already know I squared means negative 1. So we're going to change that too. Let's solve this. Let's solve this right there. Maybe that one is good. So 2i and 2i is going to give me 4i square root 3. Okay, done. That 4 stayed, and this one is going to be plus 3 and negative 1. So let's try that again. 4i square root 3 minus 3. 4 subtract 3 is going to give me 1, and I have 4i square root 3. That's my answer. If I'm not wrong, I think that was plus 3i, then these two are negatives. Why they are negative? Negative 2 times negative 2 is going to give me positive 4. And I have negative times negative is going to give me positive. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, we're good. I think we're good. If I made a mistake, just comment below and I'll fix it. Probably I'm messing up with the signs, but I'll check one more time. Negative times negative is positive 4. Negative times negative is positive 2i3. Negative times negative is positive. And I think we are okay. Yeah. Yes, we're good. Okay. So that's how we're gonna do that, these kind of questions. If you have any questions, please let me know and I will help you out. And make sure that you like my video, subscribe, and if you subscribe, I'll do one-on-one tutoring with you guys using Zoom. Have a good day. Bye.